A very good evening. My name is Alok Srivastava and I welcome you once again to Networknuts YouTube channel. A very good evening. Isn't it sound strange? Yes, this is strange. It's 8 o'clock in the night and still in the office, and it is the first time I'm recording a video or doing a video at this hour. Hoo-ha! So, what's in this video? The video must be special. Yes, the video is very special. Apart from Eva Mendes, the beautiful Eva Mendes out here, I'm going to explain you. Oh, where it is? Yeah, IPTables next level. So, what is the next level? Next level is that you all know about IPTables, that it is used to configure the ports, or you can allow a port or block a port. Let me explain you. So just remove this heading, and I've got my trusted virtual machine here for you. Here it is, my VM. That's great. And where it is, show. So it works on my commands. I say show and it pops up. I'm giving the password. Look, here is my trusted VM, and I have got Apache service running here successfully. And by default, and I will just want you to pay attention, the video might be of slightly of a longer length. So if I give you IPTable-L for listing, if you see there, by default I had flushed out everything. So, and the default policy is accept. So when the default policy is accept, it means my Apache is also being accessible from the outside world. Let me try this, and my IP address is, okay, I'm running on ETH1, make sure, and my IP is 192.168.0.28. So what I do here now, I go to my Ubuntu machine, I open Chrome, and I just write here http://192.168.0.28, because nothing is being blocked by the firewall. I'm getting the website coming from Linux storage using HTTPS secure connection. It's not a secure connection. The idea is that you're getting the web page. Why? Because on the server itself, everything is being flushed out. It is clear. This is very easy, but it's not secure. Now, what we learned in our standard curriculums, like you must have gone through RSCE or RHCSS. Those are wonderful like training pattern. There is no doubt about that, and you learn a lot when you go through official training of RSCE and RHCSS. But again, it's a role-based course, and every course has got a limitation. So that is why the videos are here, to give you what is missing, or what can make your life much more easier. Not easier, much more secure, because what I'm going to explain you is not easy. Now, what happens is that you know that I can block, like suppose it's a web server, so that means I'm not allowed to do as such. So I can easily give like IPTables-A input, where the source is say 0.0.0.0/0.0.0.0, and the protocol is the TCP- destination port is 22-J drop. I can do this, and then I can repeat the same for the UDP. That makes sense. UDP service IPTable save. That makes sense. So means I can still do HTTP, but I cannot do SSH. So let me try. Root at 192.168.0.28. No, because I had dropped it. That's fine, fair enough, reasonable. But the point is that here the default policy is accept. I'll just explain, and I had just blocked 2 ports. If I'm not wrong, then we have got 65535 ports. So I'll just from those 65535 ports, you had just blocked 2 ports. Rest all other ports, 65533 ports, are open. So is this a good thing? No, I don't think so. It's a good thing. I'll just explain you with a very beautiful picture I had created, and after seeing that picture, you will appreciate my drawing. Look, this is how your server is. When you give the default policy is accept, look here, default policy is accept. That means your server is something like this: 65 with accept as the default policy, 6553 ports are open, and then we need to block or close certain ports. Like in my case, in this case, what I had done, rest 6553 5 ports are open. I had just blocked certain ports, like I had blocked SSH, I had blocked SSH for UDP, I had blocked telnet. It is what I am doing. I am doing the patches. I am doing in the patches. I may accidentally left a non-secure port open. Fine. My idea was just to allow Apache. So fine, Apache is coming up. Say Apache is open, and I had blocked some of the known ports which I think are dangerous, like SSH. I had blocked these ports, but I am doing the blocking in patches. I may accidentally left a non-secure port open. Now, it is not a good practice as far as a production server is concerned, or if you have got an Apache server. So you want only HTTP connections to be established. Rest all other ports should be blocked. So what I can do is that, or what I'm going to show you is that, I can make default policy as drop. All the ports are by default closed. See here, it's black, it's all closed. And now I need to open certain or specific ports. Means the 6553 ports are blocked. Now I need to open, I just need to open certain ports. Like I can open your, or I'll just change the color here, not good color, take white. Yeah, I can open the HTTP port, I can open FTP port. That makes more sense, isn't it? So this scenario is much more secure as compared to a default scenario. So it is what I'm going to show you, how to make the default policy as drop and then allow only certain specific ports. And friends, in this case, you need to remember two things. That I need to allow the incoming request, means like suppose it's an Apache server. So I need to configure my IP table that it will accept the Apache connection. It will accept it, new connection. And when somebody is trying to hit Apache, his request should be taken, and then my server should be configured or intelligent enough to respond him back. Otherwise the communication will not be successful. So means I need to configure, when you are making the policy as a drop, you need to configure the IP tables for two things. For two things is that you need to accept the connections, and then your server should respond back. Respond back. So accept and respond. So let's see how to do this. But first you should understand this beautiful picture. So it is how the default things, when we make the default, we don't change the default rules from accept. It is good but not secure. We need to do like this. We need to block all the ports and then to allow specific ports. And for allow also, we need to configure IP tables to first accept the connections, and then when somebody is trying to accept the connection, when the connection is established, my server should respond him back. It means input as well as output. So let's see this. I'm going back to my VM. Here it is. So what I'm doing here is, I'm just flushing the table. Here it is list. I do a IPTables -f. I do service IPTable save. And my idea is just to allow HTTP connection. That's it. So if I show you, it is what? It is flushed, but still the policy is accept, means I am working like this. I need to configure my server like this, more secure, more hardening, more pain. So I first change the default rules, input drop, output drop, and forward drop. Now if I give a service IPTable save, that's good. And if I show you, Now everything is being drop. Input policy is drop, out forward drop, output drop, means it is all black, nothing will be coming in. Let me show you. If I again go to my the client side and try to refresh it, or I'll just close this, the better way is just close it and try to open the Chrome again and try to hit my machine one http://192.168 this, it will just hang in indefinite. Why? Because I had made the policy as drop means my machine is not going to respond him back. So I had just configured my machine like this. It is total black. It is like this. It's all black. Oh, sorry, not this, black color. Black. It's black. But now, because it is a HTTP server, I need to allow Apache ports. I need to allow these ports. These ports should be allowed. And for accept as well as for respond back. And rest all other 535 ports or 534 ports will be blocked. Let's do this, guys. Okay, so I'm just overlapping this picture because I hope you understand the picture. Now, first thing is that we need to configure IPTable to accept my ports. In this case, my port is the 80 number port for the new connections as well as the already established connections. So for the first thing I need to do is that IPTables -a input, and if the request is coming on ETH1, I am doing ETH1. Why? Because if you remember, my LAN card is configured as ETH1. So you need to change it as per your server configuration. So I give IPTables -a input. If it is coming on ETH1 and the protocol is the TCP -- destination port is 80 -m state, I am going to check for the state of the connection, whether it is already established or new. Because I am accepting the connection, so it should be state should be new as well as established, and -j accept means my machine, if the request is coming on ETH1 and is hitting 80 port and somebody is trying to establish the new connection or is trying to communicate on the already established connection, it will be accept. And though it is not required, I can also use the same rule for UDP, service IPTable save. So if I show you, it is coming up here, but it is only half the job done. So what I had done up till now, I had just configured IPTable to accept the request. Accept the request means I had configured only this, means only the requests are being accepted. It is not responded back. Now I need to open the port for respond also. Let's do it again. Oh, sorry. I go back here. Now I need to, once the server is accepting the connections on 80 number port, it should be configured to respond back. So right now it is only accepting the connection as the rule is on input. Now I should configure something on the output, that when somebody is trying to hit on 80, you should respond him back. So I need to give IPTables -a output. Now I am configuring the output chain, and if the output is going on ETH1 via ETH1 and the protocol is the TCP -- source port is 80. Now it will be source port. Source port is 80 -m state - state is established, because I am just going to respond to the connections who are already established, not the new connections, and accept. And then again do it for UDP. Now if I give a service IPTable save and I show you IPTables list, I had configured in the input chain, the default policy is accept. Only 80 ports, new connections and already established connections are allowed, and my machine will respond output chain only for the already established connections. So that means if everything is working fine, and if I just close this and open it again, my Chrome, and will try to get the website, I should be getting it, hopefully. Wow, that makes sense. That is good. So we had just configured my machine in this manner. What manner? In this manner. Only port number 80 is responding and accepting and responding. Rest all 6553 4 ports are blocked. So I had taken a much of pain, but I am sure that only the HTTP requests are being catered. So let me try. If somebody is trying to do anything, I go to my client machine and I try to ping it. Ping 192.168.0.28. Sorry, because that ping ICMP echo is in the black color or is being dropped. Let me try to do SSH-y root at 192.168.0.28. Sorry guys. So everything is being blocked. As it is a web server, you are only allowed to communicate to the web server via the browser. It is working. That is good. That is good. So it is how you can configure it for FTP. The same can be configured for FTP, for Telnet, for FTP, for Samba, for say NFS, because in all these cases, first the client will be initiating the connection, means the accept or the request will be coming from the client side, and then your server is going to respond him back. Let me give you one more example. In this case, what is going on means the connection is being requested from the outside world. Means the first step is this. That somebody has requested for the connection. First, the first step is initiated by the client, and the second step is initiated by you, that your machine responding back. Now let us do a reverse of the case. Might be it is a case that you want to do SSH from your very secure server to some machine. Like I'll just draw a machine here. Like suppose I've got a machine here. Here it is a machine, and you want that from your machine you should be allowed to do SSH like this, and then the connection should be established from the client side. Means here it is reverse. Now you are initiating the connection. The first step is being taken by you, and the second step is being taken by the machine to whom you are hitting. So let's configure how to do that. So in this case, I want to configure my machine for outgoing SSH connections. Let's do this. One more example. So I open it once more. Because I am configuring it for outgoing, I'll just write here SSH connections. I hope you understand this point. Previously it was for incoming HTTP connections. That is for incoming HTTP connections. Now I want to configure for outgoing SSH connections. How to do that? Just write IPTables. First I am configuring for outgoing. Allow outgoing SSH rule. IPTables -a output, and if it is going on via ETH1, in my case, your can be ETH0. And the protocol is the TCP -- destination port is 22, because I am hitting the red machine on 22 port. -m state state is new or established, -j accept. And just a moment, I just make a typo here. I just need to give output. I always do this. Idiot, I'm an idiot. Now repeat the same for UDP. So by these two rules, my machine will allow the outgoing connection. The outgoing connection is being done, but when this machine will respond me back, my machine is not going to accept that. So now I need to configure for allow incoming for the already established connections. So I give IPTable -a input, and if the request is coming on eth1 in my case, and the protocol is the TCP, and the source port is 22, because the red machine will be hitting me or acknowledging me on the port number 22. -m state state is established, because I had already requested for the new connection, so it will be just responding me back for the already established connection. So I'm not going to give new here. -j accept and repeat the same for the UDP. Sorry, that's great. Service IPTable save. So if I show you, I had got incoming connections for HTTP and outgoing for this. Let me try. So means I should be able to SSH to my machine 192.168.0. Oh, I forgot the IP address of my Ubuntu machine. Let me check. What is the IP address? I just make it slightly smaller and a bit bigger. Hoo-ha! ifconfig. So my IP is 13. Here it is. I'm working on it is at 13. That's great. Makes sense. So I came back here. I gave 13. Oh, it's going on. That's great. Oh, not root. Sorry. Not root. It is Alok. But the connection is going on. Alok. I'm not going to share you the password. Here it is. Welcome to Ubuntu, and it is done. So you had just configured your machine, the outgoing connection for SSH and incoming connections for HTTP. So I'll just give an exit here. Came back to my storage machine. So that is how you can make your server more secure, by explicitly allowing only specific ports and make the default policy as drop. This is how the server should be configured in a production environment or in a real life scenarios, or they are actually being configured like that. And hell lot of more options are there in the IPTables, and I hope I'll be able to share all those with you in the next video. I hope you like the next level of IPTables. Do give me the feedback. I'm waiting eagerly. Thank you. God bless. Take care. And I'm saying good night.